Welcome friends, I'm Rose and today we're going to be making a delicious arroz con pollo, which is Mexican chicken with rice. We're going to start by cutting and dicing anywhere from a quarter to half an onion. One of my viewers, Madi, requested this recipe, so Madi, this is for you. I've got a large jalapeno here and I like to just cut off the tip and then cut me anywhere between 1 to 3 slices. Today I'm going to be using 3, giving it a bit of a kick. Depending on your taste, you can use less or more or none at all. For this recipe, I'm using boneless chicken thighs. As you can see, I've got a pretty large package with 8 thighs, but you don't need this many. I have rinsed my thighs, and now I'm going to go in with a little bit of salt and pepper. Now, if you have a lot of fat in your thighs, you can go ahead and trim some of it off. I wouldn't trim it off completely because it does add flavor. Next, I'm going to go in with some garlic powder. Make sure it's not garlic salt because you don't want to oversalt it. Cumin, and by the way, you're going to be seasoning both sides with the same ingredients. Some oregano. And I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. I'll clean that up in just a minute. And some paprika. Moving on to the stove, you want to get your pan nice and hot. Now, I recommend that you use either a stainless steel pan or a cast iron skillet because you'll get that really nice browning in your chicken. Now, if you don't have one, that's perfectly fine. You can use any pan you have. And I'm pouring about a couple tablespoons of olive oil. You want just enough to coat the bottom of your pan. Now that my pan is nice and hot, I'm going to start adding my chicken thighs. Now, I've got quite a few thighs in here, so I might have to cook these in 2 batches. We'll see how many we can fit in here. Again, you don't need this many thighs. It's not going to change your recipe. You want to go ahead and cover it up and cook for about 4 minutes on one side. Keeping the lid on will also help it cook a little faster. It's been 4 minutes. Let's check on our thighs. Now, I have my temp at a number 4. I do like to start with a high temp at first, but slowly start adjusting it. So 4 is a good number. You'll notice your chickens start getting white around the edges, which is your cue that you can go ahead and start turning them over. I probably should have turned my fan on to help with all this smoke. All right, guys, notice this nice browning? This is what I'm talking about. We want to go ahead and cover it up and continue cooking on this side for about 4 minutes. It's been 4 minutes and our thighs are looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer them to another plate temporarily. If for any reason they're a little bit undercooked, don't worry about it too much because we're going to continue cooking them in the rice. To a large hot pan, add olive oil. Now you want to add 1 cup of extra long grain rice. Make sure that it's either long or extra long. Don't use anything less. It's basically fluffier and doesn't clump up like short grain rice does. I'll post the one I use up top, but any long grain is fine. All right, so the goal here is to fry it until it becomes a golden brown color. First, you're going to see it turn white and then slowly will turn into a golden brown color. I'd like to invite you to browse my channel once this video is done. Make sure to go up top to the tabs where you see playlists. I've got a ton of videos in there. And also make sure that you hit the subscribe button below and hit the little bell so you get notified whenever I put out new videos. You can already start seeing a change. Now, real quick story. So a long time ago, I was cooking rice. And I had one of the rice grains hit me on my forehead and literally burned my forehead and left me a rice or a grain of rice mark right on my forehead. I remember going to practice and one of the moms asking me, "What happened to your forehead?" And I had to tell her that I burned my head with a grain of rice, and she just started cracking up. She thought it was the funniest thing. But anyway, that's my story. I don't know if you can see this, but it's turning a nice golden brown. So now we're ready to add our onions and jalapeños. Just give it a mix and saute the onions for a little bit. After a couple of minutes, it's looking pretty good, so I'm going to grab my spices. We'll add a little bit of salt and pepper. Now, if you're adding a lot of jalapeños, just take it easy on the pepper. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cumin and 1 teaspoon of oregano. 1 package of powdered chicken bouillon. If you just have the squares, you can just crumble 1 square up. Let me give it a quick mix so I don't burn my rice. You want to keep it moving. Add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, equivalent to 2 cloves. At this point, if you'd like, you can add a little bit of frozen peas and carrots. Add 1/8 ounce can of tomato sauce, 2 cups of hot water. Now, very important, your water must be hot. You want to let it come to a boil. You can turn up your heat for a little bit if you need to. Then we're going to add our chicken thighs back in here. Now, I've got 8 again. And I have a pretty large pan, so I'm going to see if I can make this work and fit it all in here. Looks like I'm fitting 8 in here. All right, if you have any juice left on your plate, go ahead and pour it all in there. Oh man, I thought I was out of peas and carrots, but I just found a bag. Normally, I put this when I'm putting in all my liquids so you could mix it really well before you put your chicken. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in now. I'm not going to disturb my chicken. I think I'll be okay. We're going to be covering our pan. Make sure that you get a pan with a lid that fits perfectly. Now, this is very important. Otherwise, you can ruin your rice. I'm going to put my temp down to low, and we're going to cook this for exactly 30 minutes on low. It's been 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and check on this. Now, normally you wouldn't see all the peas and carrots at the top, so no worries with that. And I also have quite a bit of chicken in here, but let's look. Ooh, look at this. Perfect. With the heat off, cover it and let it sit for at least 5 minutes. Then I'm going to go start plating. Let's go. Now tell me, how good does this look? Wait until you taste it. I really hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share with your friends. If you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so below or hit my little picture on the side. Also, don't forget to hit the little bell to get notified of all of my new videos. And please be sure to check out these links on the side. Share with your friends. Thanks for watching and your support.